Well, hey everyone, welcome to another Unboxed Advisors webinar. Today, we are going to be uncovering one of the hottest topics: how to have an endless summer. Summers are not just for children, they are for adults. And who doesn't want that endless summer, endless vacation? We're going to break it down for you in this quick hit webinar. So, during our time together, you're going to get a quick little intro from us. We're going to teach you about the sunscreen in your business, what to do if you get burned when you're flying a little too close to that sun, what you should be investing in, and how that all translates into dun da da an endless summer. So don't click off screen yet. Here we go. So first and foremost, meet myself. I'm Catherine Meyer. I am the COO of Unboxed Advisors. And our presenter today is Susan Bryant, the CEO of Unboxed Advisors, CPA, and certified tax planner. So, all right, are you ready to get into it? Let's get into this. All right. As kids, I want you to go back to that time where summers were the best. No school, no early alarm clocks, zero homework, a pantry full of all of the greatest snacks, absolutely no concept of what day of the week it actually is. What was on our schedules as kiddos was really driven by the weather and what was on the TV guide that day. The world events came to an utter halt when you heard the ice cream truck cruising around the neighborhood. And really, the only rules that our parents had was to be home before the streetlights came on. Total freedom, y'all. Lounging in the pool, eating one of everything from the local fast food, junk food alley, going on that impromptu road trip with all those amazing gas station snacks, catching fireflies, and even staying up all night long watching movies. As adults, those are things that we don't often get to enjoy. But Susan, break it down for us. How in the world can we as adults have an endless summer?
Well, I'm so glad that we are talking about this because it is one of those subjects that inspires us, right? Freedom is so precious, whether it's time freedom, money freedom, emotional freedom, stress freedom. I mean, so many aspects of this really start to resonate, especially if you have grown and operated a business for some time. And the bottom line is that your future starts right now. Securing this endless summer is something that you have to begin to work on right now. The future begins immediately. And it's interesting because one of the things that we spend a lot of time talking about, Catherine, just you and I, and with our clients, is that the past is something that helps us to understand what that future looks like. And we spend a lot of time working with our clients to help them to see a little further into the future, past where they can see right now all the things that they might need to be ready for. Okay, so as we were brainstorming for this webinar, one of the things we talked about was like, Susan, what are some examples of things you've seen people not be ready for? Okay, the first thing I'm going to tell you right now, especially when it comes to business owners and how accounting is influencing their ability to be ready for anything that happens, is the pandemic. The pandemic, when PPP loans started, and really not round one, it was that round two when you had to prove up that 25% reduction in your gross receipts. Boom, all of a sudden people were in a tizzy because their accounting records were not ready. You got to be ready for anything that's coming. And we just don't know. We do not know what is going to be around the corner. We have to be prepared. I have seen instances where people are ready to put their businesses up for sale, begin that marketing process to bring their business to potential buyers. But when you start looking at the accounting records, you realize there was a serious inadequacy related to the not just the accounting processes, but the actual credibility of the information. The third thing is not knowing if you're making the right decision, no visibility into knowing, should I buy that piece of equipment? Should I make that new hire? What kind of particular items do I need to be selling? How do I increase my profit? Zero data available to be able to make better decisions. Can't grow my business because no bank's going to take me. I can't get a line of credit. I can't get that loan to purchase that piece of equipment. Or maybe even personally, I can't get that mortgage because my books aren't updated. I can't buy that commercial property because my books aren't updated. I can't give that information to anyone. So no one's gonna bank me. And last but not least, man, no one's paying attention. No one's watching billing. No one's watching AR. There's an unexpected cash crunch that pops up because just nobody's paying attention. So accounting becomes the foundation. This is so foundational for the securing of an endless summer. So we got to start working on that future right now. We got to gain that financial freedom. We want that freedom to be able to float in the lazy river. We want the ability to do what I always say to my husband, I'm going to do whatever I want, whenever I want, however I want. That's the freedom that we are looking for, especially when it comes to our finances and as it pertains to how our business is an influence in our lives too. We really want to have loosen the shackles, the binds, the things that are binding us to our business. We want to loosen those up as we elevate ourselves as executives in our business. We want to have that type of bandwidth and freedom. It's something that we crave. We've been tethered to this business for a very long time. And we want to have that freedom to really just enjoy and kick back and not feel like you have to answer emails on vacation and all the other things. And the way to do that, the starting point really is for you to start working on those accounting records. So let's jump in. So what do you need? You need sunscreen, people. You cannot be in business without accounting records, and accounting is the sunscreen. It is the preventative medicine. It is the thing that you start with when we start talking about having an endless summer, spending hours and hours in the sun. You have to begin with sunscreen. All right, so sunscreen. It is this thing that keeps you from getting burned. Okay. And when you get burned, you're in the red. We all know that, right? And when we're in the red, that means we're losing money. So you got to keep applying that sunscreen just like you keep your books updated every month, every entity by a set deadline. It's just like the instructions on the bottle of sunscreen. You've got to be disciplined about keeping your books updated. And when it comes to the SPF, sometimes you got to elevate that sucker up. So if you are getting more complicated operations, if your business is expanding, as your business gets hotter, you got to level up on the resources that you are leveraging to examine the accounting reports. This means getting someone else to make sure that those numbers are right because you don't want to get burned. And last but not least, you kind of want to get you want a tan with no tan lines, right? But you don't want to have to lose your shirt along the way. And you have to know that accounting is the gateway to all other planning. So you cannot do financial planning. You are interested in selling your business maybe one day. You got to have accounting records that are going to be used in an evaluation process and a due diligence process to understand what that number is going to look like so you can integrate it into your financial plan. Accounting is the source of all of that. You're interested in knowing whether or not you should hire somebody. You're going to need accounting reports to tell you whether or not that's a possibility or what kind of ROI you need on that person. You are interested in paying less taxes. You are going to need to have information related to what your operations are yielding in terms of income and deductions right now in order to understand what that tax liability is going to look like in the future and what levers you pull and how you pull them. And not just this year, but all into the future. So that lifetime tax planning. Succession planning, interested in making an exit of some kind, you're going to need accounting reports. And last but not least, if you want to grow your business in any way, you're going to need accounting reports in order to tell you exactly how to structure that growth in the most effective and efficient way. So we've all seen that meme on Facebook or LinkedIn or wherever where it shows success and it's this crazy giant squiggly line. Our job as advisors is to help make that more linear And one of the ways that we do that is we leverage that accounting data together. So definitely apply your sunscreen, kitties, right? Or you're going to get burned.
Oh, I love this. This is a great image because we've all been there before. We've all gotten burned. This is fabulous.
Yes, and we never want to do it again, right? It's sort of like one of those things where I have sworn to myself I will not ever repeat that, right? So these are mistakes we do not want to make. And when we do make the mistakes, the last thing we want to do is to put our head in the sand. Like, you cannot ignore these problems. We see this time and time again where people are expecting the accounting issues to go away. The books are not going to update themselves. It's just not going to happen. Tax returns are not going to get filed on their own. Plans for sales expansion, geographic expansion, succession planning, these things do not do themselves. So I'm glad that everyone is here today and listening to this, because this is exactly what we want to help people wrangle. We want to help them wrangle the chaos so that they don't have to feel like this anymore. They don't have to feel like they're ignoring the problem. So we're doing everybody a solid today.
Mhm. Yeah, we are. We're going to
Yeah,
give a
so
gift.
we're going to give a gift. Catherine, tell them all about it.
Okay, so for everyone who is attending this webinar live, or if you're part of our beloved replay crew, you now have access to the Unboxed Advisors 30-point business inspection. This is the tool that we use internally with our clients to check that everything that should be happening on a month-to-month basis is happening. So this is our gift to you. Take a look at this thing and really evaluate yourself if you are the sunscreen queen or if you have had your head in the sand for far too long. So check that gift out. The link will be down below. And for those in live attendance, it is in the chat.
Awesome. Thanks, Catherine. I think that's going to be a really great tool for so many people. So it should prompt people to want to get serious about these financial records. This is like, I've been thinking so much about this concept of getting serious about something. You want to seriously grow your business. You want to seriously build wealth. You want to seriously expand your operations. Then the first thing you got to get serious about are the financial reports. This is the first step in that process. So let's talk about what that means. So first step in this entire process is going to be, we're going to have to set up accounting records for every entity. So if we'll go to the next slide, we can kind of see what that looks like. These are the things that you're going to have to invest in kind of along the way. All right. So first thing is, and we kind of made this a little fun for everybody. You know, you got to bring enough towels for everyone. Like, nobody wants nobody wants a wet towel. Nobody likes to share towels. Our kids have fought over them for years right now. Mine's the pink one. The bottom line is, you got to get a towel for everyone. That means you got to have a set of books for every entity. I can't tell you the number of times that I have worked with business owners and they're like, well, that entity is so small, we don't really need a set of books. However, when you go on to do some type of planning and see how it factors into their overall financial picture, there's no data. We have no information to know how that could influence, whether it's a cash inflows or outflows, tax implications. The questions become so many. So it's just too difficult to operate with things being disjointed. So even if this is a very small set of business, a very small business with very limited operations, you got to have a set of books. You need to be able to combine everything to see that global picture. And once it gets behind, things get wrong, they're out of place. I mean, we've seen people do, I'll keep it in a spreadsheet just so I don't have to pay the $30 a month into it. Don't cheap out in this area. Just set up the set of books. It will make your life so much better.
Seriously. And going back to getting serious about your business, setting up an entity, setting up books, you don't have to use it right away. Just like when you're planning a party to go down to the pool or to the beach, you will take a towel for every single person in your crew. Even if you're not sure if they're actually going to swim or get wet, you would still bring it. So if they do make that choice, you're ready. Because again, like, who likes a used wet towel? No one. No one.
No one. As a matter of fact, I think it would be a deterrent from swimming for most people.
Amen.
All right, let's talk about blowing up those pool floats. I mean,
Mm,
come on, like you guys, I see us, we see this all the time, right, Catherine? This is
all the
like
time.
mm, very manual processes. No one has taken the time, okay, and it is an investment in time to set up the sinks and the automations to leverage spending policy in order to automate more efficiently that accounting for each entity. So this is hours of heartburn. We've seen this so many times where we say, okay, send us a list of all of your credit card charges that you have on your personal credit card charge or your credit card, and we're going to have to go through and figure out what's business and what's personal. This can take hours. And the problem is that no one can remember. Like, I can't remember what I had for dinner 2 days ago. I'm not going to remember all of the business charges from 18 months ago. So we're losing this ability to really capture those deductions efficiently and effectively. So you're gonna have to upgrade to the air pump. It's not it's not that much time investment, but the return is so significant.
Yes, rather than that manual process, you can connect your debit card or your credit card to your accounting book. So in real time, with every swipe, your books are being updated. So that eliminates that problem. And if you all have been watching YouTube to fix your dishwasher and all the things around your house, you too can learn how to do this, or by working with an unboxed advisor. I just had to do that for shameless plugging. Sorry, y'all.
I love it. Yes. Uh, so we're basically air pumps.
Yes.
That's who we are.
Yeah, but I don't think that I'm full of hot air all the time, Susan. So I don't know about that. All right, next slide. Away from the hot air.
Oh my gosh. All right. So we're gonna make it a great day at the beach, y'all. The most important thing that we have to be thinking about is we've got to be prepared, right? We're gonna create real beach envy. I mean, we've all been in situations where we've gone down to even a pool party, or especially at the beach, when you see the family who shows up and they've got the tent, they've got the umbrellas, they've got the little things where you surf on the beach, and all the play toys. They got all the right buckets. They make the best sand castles. Like, those people or who we want our business owners to be. We want them to show up, and people are literally envious of, like, how is this business so amazing? This business is so amazing because accounting makes things great in a business. It is a discipline. It is a series of tasks that are completed every month, whether it's reconciling, whether it is preparing work papers, whether it's examining budget to actual reports. It is these things that prompt everyone else to start thinking more about the business, more about, wait, hang on just a second. I thought that this happened in the operations. Why would that have happened in the financial records? It is the propellant for additional curiosity in your business. So it will propel a business to greatness. Accounting is the foundation for all of that.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more to that. And yes, we've all been at the beach and we see people that have it all together. And the first thought is they're always prepared. Look at them. They are professionals. Like, I want to roll with them. I want to go sit next to them. They're definitely having a better time with the radio and the chilled drinks and everything else than I am over here with my,
Yeah.
one scoop.
And it makes you think, you know what, I could be better. I can do a better job of planning and being more
Yeah.
prepared.
Yes.
So I want to give a recent example of something that we came across.
Okay.
So business owner had hired a bookkeeper, um, which is a great option to help reduce costs, especially when we're talking about recording very routine transactions. Excellent resources for that type of work. Had a CPA who was assisting with tax preparation, but real big problem, and that is that no one was thinking about how the accounting file was configured, and in that process, the payroll had been modified to come out of a different bank account like a number of years ago. So in reality, money was coming out of bank account A, but the accounting program was configured for payroll to come out of bank account B. And that resulted in payroll being double booked in the accounting records. Okay. So, which is crazy to me. We're talking about years, you guys, years of this happening. And no one ever bothered to change it. To me, this is one of those instances where we really need our resources to be thinking, right? To make sure that we are prepared at the beach with all of the toys, that we've got all the right people really helping us to be thinking and making sure that that accounting is, there's no laziness, there's no falling down on the job, that we've got everybody really doing with the thinking that they need to be doing. So it literally took 30 seconds to make this one change in their accounting records and completely eliminate this as an issue. So accounting is just so critical. It can be such a coronary inducing thing when you open up a set of books and you're like, whoa, negative $300,000 bank account. What's going on? It makes the financials completely unusable. It is very stressful. It's like, I don't know what's going on. Why isn't anybody fixing this? This is a really big issue. So I think this is a really nice lead into number 4 here, which is you got to get a private lifeguard. You got to get somebody who has got the right skills to oversee the people who are doing this accounting work. And this is not a bash session on anybody, but really just that it is important to understand that there are different skills, training, knowledge, and expertise that is required as your business continues to progress. And that oversight, if you cannot provide it, needs to be provided by someone. Otherwise, these are the problems that continue for years. I cannot even begin to emphasize to the importance of getting someone who will come in and take the initiative to help you fix these problems and make sure that they never happen again. Mm-hmm. So we don't want that kind of creativity. We want safety. And we want to, like, you got to wear your life vest. You got to stay safe in the pool, safe on the beach. You got to make sure you follow all the rules. That's the type of stuff that we want to be happening for our clients. And we become that private lifeguard for them. And we make sure that everyone else is doing what they need to be doing when it comes to the accounting records, so we could do all the additional activities that come down the road. All righty. So this kind of leads, we're wrapping things up here, folks. And that is how, okay, that's really great, Susan, accounting, that's exciting. But how does this really translate into this endless summer, right? Okay. Accounting discipline means that you're opportunity ready. Your future starts right now, which means if this accounting is in place, you are ready for whatever is coming. That ability to be ready for whatever is coming are the opportunities, are the dangers. You're ready to be agile. It does not come if you do not have the information to make the most of those opportunities when they arrive at your doorstep. So accounting discipline leads to opportunities. Opportunities are what translate into big returns, right? PPP is a great example. I've seen so many business owners who, when they are ready to seize an opportunity and jump on it, the ROI on that can be massive down the road. But you can't do it if you're just not ready. If you don't understand, do I have the cash to do this? Do I have the ability to do this? Do I have the desire to do it? It doesn't happen. And that's really kind of leads into the second one. We've got financial accountability. We know what's happening in the business. We know what we need to be doing. That translates into the informed decision making, so we can know whether opportunities are good or bad, or how that's going to impact not only my business, but also my personal financial situation. So this endless summer, we start to see here that this becomes one of those things that's rooted in accounting completely. Mm-hmm. And last but not least, this planning capability that comes from the accounting records. We talked about it: financial planning, tax planning, business planning, people planning, succession planning. Our ability to look into the future comes from our ability to leverage the financial records. So we got to start right now in creating the environment where freedom is available. And the freedom begins with solid accounting records.
Yeah. So the way that I view this is beach bodies, those bikini bodies are not built in July. They are not built in July, y'all. So when you are planning that, hey, I'm going to have a great summer, I'm going to spend my summer with my kids and my grandkids at the beach, at the pool, in my favorite floaty. In December is when you're saying no to the cookies. In January is when you are in the gym and you're doing the thing. So when it is bikini season, you have been disciplined, you've stayed away from those cookies, you are ready to hop in and you're ready to have a great time and prance around on the beach in your swimsuit. And when those people who don't plan, who don't have the discipline, and they're not accountable to, looking like a busted can of biscuits in their swimsuit, they're not having as much fun as the people who planned for it and were intentional and ran at 5:30 in the morning in February. So if you want that endless summer and to have a great time, know that your beach body is built in the winter.
That's right. So we got to get started working on that beach body business right now.
Yeah, I love this.
Yes, me
Yes.
too. Yes. Okay, so we are committed to making sure that these webinars are right at 30 minutes.
Mhm.
So we want to say thank you for everyone being here. And Catherine, tell everybody a little bit about what's coming next.
Oh my goodness. So we all know that sunscreen is for your business. That's the accounting protection that you need. And who is better at reminding you of that than your mom, who chased you all around the pool and all around the beach, putting on your sunscreen when you were little? So we are taking a new take in May. We'll be meeting again for a webinar on May 8th at 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern Time to talk about mothering your money. So when you hear back into your nostalgia of go outside, it's a beautiful day. If you're too sick to go to school, you're too sick to play outside. Oh, well, when you have your own house, you can make the rules. We're going to translate all of those predictable momisms into real, actual, solid business advice. And I promise you, not one time will we tell you because I said so. So that is what you can look forward to in our May webinar. Please find us on LinkedIn if you've enjoyed this content. On our Facebook channel, we post regularly. And on our YouTube, you'll find all of our prior webinars for you to hop in the driver's seat and get educated on what financial freedom means and looks for you. So thank you everyone for joining us. We will see you again at the next Unboxed Advisors webinar. Go and have a fabulous day and get ready for your endless summer. Take care, y'all.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.